Hello everyone, and welcome to the Red Door Yoga Mini Sutra series online. It's good to be here with you again today. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about overindulgence in stimuli and the way it ramps up the ego. So in yoga philosophy, the word for the ego is ahamkara. And ahamkara effectively translates into the noise of I. So it's that kind of rumbling that's under every single experience you're having when it's like I. Well, how does this affect me? What is my thought on it? How does this relate to myself? The I in everything that goes on. So ahamkara, the noise of I. And the idea of the ego is that it is this resounding little rumble that's under everything that's saying there is an I. There is a separate me from everything else. So there's a me versus a you versus an us versus a them. This illusion of separation is the ahamkara, is the ego. Now, the ahamkara, the ego, has been created once we were moving into physical form, because you needed a sense of I, you needed an avatar in order to, move through this physical world and have experiences. And so this avatar, this I, is going to be built with the ability to interact with the elements of physicality. So there are things that I can now smell and taste and touch, etc. So every time I interact with things from a sensory viewpoint, I am reminded of this illusion that I am separate, that there's an I that is touching, there's an I that is tasting, there's an I that is seeing, that is smelling. And a little while back in the mini sutras, I had talked to you guys about the fact that, this is all a game, and you need an avatar, you need a piece on the board to play the game, but you need to also realize that piece is not you. And I mentioned in that mini sutra that we've all, played with somebody who's taking the game way too seriously, and maybe that person was you, okay? But who's taking the game way too seriously, and that means that their ahamkara, that sense of I-ness, was being overstimulated. It was being so stimulated that they really began to believe that that piece on the board was them. And that is why it was so vitally important that they win that game. Whatever was happening to that piece was happening to them in some way, shape, or form, okay? And so what we see then is that when we engage or overindulge in stimuli, any type of sensory stimuli, so sight, sound, taste, touch, etc., whatever stimuli it is that we're overindulging in, that is actually going to ramp up our sense of individuality, our sense of being separate from other things. It seems so silly, but it is so true, okay? This is why yogis actually will work towards more moderately, let's say, spiced foods, because they want to stay away from taste that overexcite the taste stimuli, right? Because that highly spiced food, as yummy as it can taste, that highly spiced food actually starts to excite the ego. It starts to excite the mind. It starts to exacerbate the sense of separation, and then it exacerbates suffering, mental and emotional and physical suffering. And it's easy to not see the connection between your spicy food and your emotional and mental suffering, at that moment or later on in that day. But it is actually correlated, those two things, okay? So, I hope this helps, and I would love you to actually take a moment, as you're going through your day, and start to notice, where are you overindulging in your stimuli? Where are you, ramping up your ego by too much, sight, taste, sound, touch, okay? I hope this was helpful, everyone. I look forward to being here with you again online. If you have any questions, please do put them in the comments. Please do share the video. If you found us on YouTube, please subscribe and ring the bell at the top, and we will see you again very soon. Namaste.